Hey, how's everybody doing? A pleasant good afternoon on Super Bowl Sunday. Alexander Ovechkin had a great Super Bowl Sunday as always, but the Flyers, the Fly Guys, were still able to prevail over those pesky Washington Capitals. Even after OV continued his success on Super Bowl Sunday, his continued success on Super Bowl Sunday, that just seems to be a going thing for Alexander Ovechkin. This is just going to be a video where I talk about and react to the ongoing games. So far, so good for Patrick Laine in Columbus. He's able to score. Brock McGinn is just a great little player to have on your team. He honestly, if the Carolina Hurricanes were not that successful, team would be a great pickup for the Flyers. A great scrappy player, adds physicality and skill to your team. But yeah, they ain't trading Brock McGinn because the Hurricanes are a good team. They're a cup contender. If they get a goalie, especially Darcy Kemper or hell, if they get Gibson, they would be bonkers. But if they get Kemper, they would still be ridiculous. So it's going to be interesting to see. Thank you, Hockey News. Yeah, I'm just reacting to the different games. The Chicago game and the Dallas game is the one I mainly have on, and then on the side TV, I just have different ones on. I mean, Laine cranked one today, so far so good. He's looking really good. Thanks everybody that joined. Please like and subscribe. Trying to get to 120 by the end of next week. I think we're at 104 right now, so I really appreciate us moving up here. He ripped that one. There was no chance that was going to be stopped. And then Brock McGinn had a nice goal by crashing the net and going in front. He's just a fun player to watch. Plays the game the right way. Gets to the scrappy areas. Isn't the biggest guy. Just one of those guys that gets to all the right areas. And then the other game is still zip in both Chicago and Dallas. 11-9 shots favoring Chicago. 12-12 even shots Detroit with Florida. And then you have a 3-2 lead for the Vegas Golden Knights with 13 shots to 12 over the Kings. And in that game, Kopitar scored on a cross-ice feed. Marchessault turned a pass into a Marchessault passed it to Riley, who ripped it upstairs, and then Kempe scores against Vegas, and then that gave them the lead at that time. Then Whitecloud scored. Then Chandler Stevenson scored to even it up, and then the one goal's not on here yet, updated yet. That made it 3-2 for Vegas at the end of the period. So that's where all the action is right now. The intermission is in the middle of the intermission break for the Chicago game that I'm mainly watching. Most of the other games, I think, are also in the middle of the intermission break. Kopitar did rip that. Rob Lehner had no chance watching the highlight over here. And then now watching Marchessault, see how much he ripped it. I mean, if you just see that goal, he had no shot. Nobody was saving that. Riley Smith came in from the sideboard, and yeah, he just drilled that in the top left. Yeah, there was no chance at him saving that either. There's just a lot of really great goals today. A lot of people sniping great goals. Ovechkin looked great again. I mean, the dude just continues to do great on Super Bowl Sunday, but the Flyers prevailed. Let's go. Big win for the Fly Guys. I thought they were going to kill them. They did kind of end up killing them in the end, having a great finish, but I didn't get the score up. But, we won 6-3, so I'll take it. And then Kempe came down on the sideboards as well and hit a shot. That one actually probably should have been saved by Lehner. I'm not going to lie. That one went through his spot right here pretty much. That was not a good goal. I think he would want to have that one back. Zach Whitecloud, a very underrated player himself, scored in the Vegas game. That's the one that evened it up for them as Tuck went behind the net, passed it to Glass, who gave it to Whitecloud, who was able to hit one on the other side of the net as Peterson was brought far to the other side by the cross-ice pass. Then Stevenson scored against the Kings, which made it 3-2. That's the updated goal that they put on there now. Chandler Stevenson, who's been having a hell of a career since going to Vegas, was kind of in a bad spot in D.C. just because of their great depth. They really just didn't need him. But going to Vegas, he's been put in a position to succeed, and he's been doing pretty well since going there, so good for him. Also, a guy that I have to shout out is Malcolm Subban. He's having a good game thus far. Now, in his last game, he played amazing. So if he can really get going, you got Kevin Lankinen, and you got Malcolm Subban there. And then if Delia can get going, he's looked good in the minors at times. It's just so far not so good yet in the NHL. Hawks defending against the Stars, and DeBrincat has looked really great this game. Yeah, DeBrincat has done the same thing as Pasta. He's come back and just literally has not looked like he's missed a beat. He came back right away and has just flourished immediately. And that's just what stars do. He had an off year last year. Every star has one off season for the most part. The only guys that don't are like the Ovechkins, and even Ovechkin had that one off season, like a minus 50. So yeah, pretty much every star had one off season actually. So I mean, it's just the way the game goes. You're not going to be absolutely ridiculous every single season. But if anybody has any questions that's in here, you can put them in the live chat. Also, please follow Steel Flyers 52 on Twitter. Go to the Steel Flyers website, bookmark it. Go to Overtime Heroics, bookmark that as well. A bunch of great people there. And Flyers Nitty Gritty, bookmark that as well. A bunch of great stuff on all those sites. So does anybody have any questions on the games? I'm going to see if I can put one on this TV that actually is active again. As the Stars and what's it called? Blackhawks are still in intermission. Blackhawks are a really fun team to watch. Correct me if I'm wrong, the 5 people that are here, but they are really a fun team to watch. They are a team that scraps really well. They're fun this year. Lankinen's a very fun kid to watch. He's a great young goaltender, really fun guy to watch, and I think he's going to have very good success in this league. Hey, Peyton, what's up? Yeah, great game by the Flyers and Capitals. Ovi continued his success, and what's his name? Got a great hat trick by Watch after having a couple bad penalties in back-to-back games, and he was able to bounce back to the fullest effect. Got a hattie. Cooch looked amazing in his first game back. Yeah, hey, bud, what's up? And it's amazing. And then 4:30 until the Stars game starts. Why would they have that long of an intermission? That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, Ovi does keep climbing up the goal list. And I mean, he's doing real well. I think he's going to break that. I don't know if he's going to retire. I think Peyton, are you one of the people that thinks, or am I thinking of Pirlo somebody else, that when he breaks the goal record, you can put it in the chat that he's going to retire? I can't remember if that was you or Pirlo. Oh, okay. 4 mins left. I thought you meant 4th. I was like, why would they wait that long for to have a concert in between for no fans? Yeah, it wouldn't have made much sense. Yesterday, for people that did not watch the action, we can just go over scores real quick and some top performers once my notes load. Oh, there we go. Got a new phone, so figuring out everything still. But yesterday, you had the Canadiens just ink out a win. Hockey News reports Canadian. Having Jeff Petrie, the Norris candidate, do great again. The Laine shot was ridiculous. Yeah. I said that at the beginning. And he just ripped that. There was no saving that. And the shot by Riley Smith on the pass that he came in from the sideboards and came in, there was no saving that. He put it in. Yeah, I think he still might score in the 30s this year, though. I mean, he's Alexander Ovechkin. I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm not sure how much it's going to hurt his push. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Ovi gets in the 30s in a 50-game season. Yesterday, we had they did barely win yesterday. You're right. Thank God for Jeff Petrie and Josh Anderson's been a great player since going there. And then Colin White, a guy that I think is going to end up having success more out of Ottawa as they have more guys coming up. But he was able to have a good game that game too. And then one of my favorite players in the league, and Josh Norris, got his 5th assist, a 5th apple. So nice to see that as well. Blues were disappointing, like I said in the reaction video I did from the other night. There's no excuse to lose 2 straight games to the Arizona Coyotes. I keep wanting to call them the Phoenix Coyotes. I almost did that again. But there's just absolutely no excuse to do that. Chychrun had a good game. Robert Thomas, he got a goal, so maybe he can get going now. This was a guy that was a predicted breakout candidate by many this year. So far, that He hasn't got fully churning yet. So let's see if that goal really gets him going and he's able to actually get fully going here. He has 6 points, so he's not doing awful. It's just with a breakout candidate, you expect him to come out with a little bit more pounce, I would expect. And then yesterday, they also had the Penguins 4-3 loss to the Islanders. The Canucks got killed by the Maple Leafs, which are probably honestly the best team in the game to start the season. Does everybody agree, or do you have another team that you think are the best team to start the season? Oilers lost to the Flames, unfortunately, Peyton, 6-4 in the Battle of Alberta yesterday. That was a very good game. Lindholm was able to score. McDavid, of course, still had a good game. Lucic actually had a really nice goal, which is surprising. Backlund did well. Puljujarvi is doing well, though, for Edmonton. That's a very key positive. And then Dylan Dubé, another very hardworking player. That was I want to say former second-round pick. But he's another hardworking player that does so well. Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey's doing great this year, and I think he might potentially be traded by the deadline, so it'll be great for whoever gets their hands on him. Darnell Nurse continued to do well, though, so that's a plus. And then Sam Bennett, who's probably also going to be traded by the deadline, did well. Showing the stats for Philip Kurashev on the One TV now, both are tied with Tim Stützle for most points by rookies and goals, and Pius Suter and Philip Kurashev. I think the Blackhawks were high on both of them, Suter coming over as an undrafted, Kurashev being one of the good prospects, but I don't think they expected them to come in and pounce this quickly. I mean, the play of Lankinen and Subban in the last couple games, if he continues his success in this game, has been so great that they are actually a competitive team right outside of the playoffs on the bubble right now, and I don't think management for the Chicago Blackhawks expected that to be the case. I think they kind of expected to be on the outside looking in and not on the bubble. But, if you get on the bubble, I don't think you're going to complain. And then we also have Detroit, surprisingly, competing with another team that's off to one of the hottest starts in hockey, which is the Florida Panthers, 0-0 in the second period right now. The Canucks are the worst in the league because not one game they worked for their Sens. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they probably have gotten off to the worst start. At least some other teams like Detroit are scrappier this year with now Grice over there as well. So, I mean, that really helps out. So, yeah, and Pickard actually played a really good game. And if you didn't tell anybody, people could think, like my good friend Zach said, that was Jimmy Howard. I mean, the dude has the same type of pads. Right now, Florida started again as Detroit stole the puck behind the net. You got 14 shots by Detroit to 13 shots for Florida right now. You got Ekblad hitting it off of a Detroit player and then went back in the zone to Dreicher. Definitely not what he meant to do there. It looks like Detroit is one of the places. Oh, yeah, that's right. They do have a couple hundred fans a game. At least they're able to have a couple people there as Mark Stahl passes it back to the point for a shot. And they score. Mark Stahl with the goal in front of the net, of all people. Mark Stahl pounds it home on a rebound in front of the net past Chris Dreicher. As in the Dallas game, Guriano, a fan on a one-timer as Dallas is on the power play. How about that? Mark Stahl, maybe you can get some of the Stahl brothers. If Jordan can score in the other game, maybe you can get them all. Well, you can't get the one scoring today, I guess, but maybe you can get them all scoring in today's games. But does anybody have any questions while we're watching? That was actually a really nice play by Mark Stahl to crash the net for Detroit to get the first goal. He has 1 goal, 2 assists this season, averages over 17 minutes. He's been a nice veteran pickup for Detroit in the last year of his contract. Definitely a nice play by them to go pick him up as Verhaeghe got hit along the boards. But does anybody have any questions for anything? Stars on the power play. Heiskanen shot it, and that almost went to Robertson for a rebound, but no cigar. Oh, a one-timer, and the Stars lost it as Heiskanen loses it out to the point. It's back all the way to their own blue line, and now they send it deep, and they call a tip for no icing. This game is 13 shots by the Dallas Stars to 11 by the Chicago Blackhawks. Again, a very good start by Malcolm Subban thus far. Hold on real quick. I would say they probably don't have, since some of the original owners are still there, as advisors and such, and different things. Like some of the people that work with Schneider are still in house. I would say they have more of a stamp than Comcast, in my personal opinion. I would say Comcast honestly does not have that much of a stamp on the team. I mean, Comcast owns 18 billion other things that they have to worry about. So I feel like they just let the hockey people worry about the fly guys, and then they worry about all the other things that they got to do in life. That's just the way that I look at it. Malcolm Subban with a couple nice saves again as Fosca got a rebound in front of the net. Malcolm Subban's having a day again. 13-13 now on the shots, as it's 15-15 on the shots in the Detroit game as well. Second favorite team is the Wings, and I can enjoy them a lot more knowing they're in the Central season. Maybe not enjoy, but it's young. Yeah, it's definitely a young team with good veterans. Oh, there's a fight. Jamie Benn against, I can't see who he's, Zadorov. Jamie Benn against Zadorov as Ben gets in a couple lefts. Zadorov tries again in the right and completely missed him. Ben gets in another left. Yeah, I would say Jamie Benn is pretty much, Zadorov's more just wrestling out there. Jamie Benn definitely won that fight. Domi getting gritty. Yeah, Domi's getting better. I think going away from Canada is doing him some good. He's in a place that I think he's going to have good success, especially if you have Patrick Laine on your line. That definitely helps you get better. So, yeah, Domi's definitely doing some good things. I agree. But that was a very good fight by Jamie Benn and Nikita Zadorov. That was a nice thing to see leading into the big Super Bowl, having some good, exciting hockey plays. In the Florida game, you got Ekblad moving it up the point off of a skate to Nemesnikov, who tried to pass it across to Hronek, it looked like, and missed. And there's a shot in front that Dreiger saves that I couldn't tell who that was by because he shot it so fast and his number was on the side. Duclair shot a one-timer that Tomas Greiss made a nice save while down the ice on the other play. And then, so that was a very nice save by Tomas Greiss. A very good game by him as well. He's been very solid since going to Detroit. Bobby Ryan had a very nice play throwing down the defender in his own zone. He's been playing good since going to Detroit as well. Yeah, but Ben beat him. Ben got in more of the punches. Ben definitely beat Nikita in that fight. Nikita barely even landed anything. Ben landed like 3 or 4 good lefts, let alone rights. Right now, the Stars have it going through center. Oh, they just lost it to Connor Murphy, assistant captain, who got it up to DeBrincat along the sideboards, who somehow still has the puck around 3 defenders. That dude just somehow keeps the puck all the time. I don't know what Kuba League was doing there. He was just standing with the puck behind the net. Klingberg now has it moving up. These Stars reverse retros are amazing. The neon green. I mean, some people hate it, but I love them. I think they're great. They pop. They're amazing. I think they're one of the best ones in the game, honestly. As Dreiger catches the puck in Detroit, Florida, 12:43 left in the second. as that goes to commercial with Mark Stahl having the game-only goal crash in the net on a very nice play. In Chicago and Dallas, it is still scoreless in Dallas. 14-14 shots on goal even. Both goalies, young goalies, and Malcolm Subban and Jake Ottinger, who I think is going to be one of the best goalies in the league in about 2 seasons, is playing in this game. So very good battle here, very good goaltending here, as well as it seems like Malcolm Subban's finally getting his skates under him with a team here in Chicago in these last couple games. If that can continue for him, that would be great. Pissick gave it back as it is cleared into the zone by the Stars, as Fosca loses it on the sideboards to Matthew Highmore, one of the faster, scrappy skaters on the Chicago Blackhawks. If anyone has any other questions, this is more of also just a live chat too, not just me like telling you what's happening in a couple of different games. We also are here to just talk about what you want to know and different questions you would have on the sport of hockey, and so on and so forth. As you talked about earlier, we think Ovechkin is going to break the scoring record eventually. And also, like I said in another video, I think Tyler Toffoli has the potential, if he keeps doing well, to get 30 this season himself, even in a 56. Highmore comes in, shoots, can't score it. Highmore falls down now in his own zone. Trying to look something up, sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Hagel earlier. Highmore's 38 or 36. Hagel is a 38. That's right. That's Brandon Hagel. Okay. But if anybody does have any questions, definitely put it in there. I would say now I'll just go into talking about who my 3 favorite players have been, honestly, to start this season. In general, until somebody has questions, that's just what I'm going to talk about at each position. At forward, I mean, it's plain and simple, I think, who my favorite player is. I love Leon Draisaitl. I think everyone thought I was going to say Connor McDavid, but I just love Draisaitl, the way he plays the game. He's the German spectacle. I wrote an article about that before calling him that. I think he's going to end up being the best player from Germany in history. Once he's all said and done, he's going to continue doing great things and competing with Connor McDavid for the MVP every single season. No, I actually don't see L unless if he wants to retire. He's just a player that's always been good to have in the locker room, per everything you read at least, and has winning experience and pedigree. So I would say no. I would say he's going to still be able to at least have jobs as a depth guy. I don't know if always have a job staying consistently in an NHL lineup, but if he's okay with kind of going between minors, AHL and NHL, then I think, yeah, he could stick around for a little bit longer. In terms of now going back into a couple people I was talking about, Besser's another guy I've always liked. Tyler Toffoli is one himself, but Reimer, I love what James Van Riemsdyk's doing for the Flyers this year. He came out like a bat out of hell. He's doing great, and that's great to see. He has 16 points in 12 games. He's going to have a great season. He's well over points per game. If he keeps going at this pace, he will have 56 at least in a 56-game season, which would be ridiculous and great to see. And the Flyers fans, some of our fan base are going to go from being, we want to get rid of him to, which I even said that at certain points, agreed with people on that because of just his play last year, I will say. But, like, now you definitely don't want to do that. There's no chance you want to do that. Someone's going to have a break. The Habs have a break until when they get the motivation back from the Leafs, and they're going to. Yeah, you're definitely going to need it against Toronto. Toronto, like I said, is probably the best team to start this season. I don't know if everyone agrees, but I personally think they are. Shots are still even in Detroit and Florida. Florida just can't get a grip on this game in Detroit right now. Excuse me, they're playing, or in Florida, excuse me. That's right, Florida has fans too, the Panthers. About the same amount of fans as they normally have. But, yeah, the Florida Panthers definitely, that's always the going joke with them that they use on anything, whatever, that they probably literally have the same amount of fans that they normally have in this game. And center Gurianov passed one across now for a shot that Subban was able to kick save on a really weird play there. That Robertson's now able to pick up the puck. Does anyone else have any more questions as I'm looking up something for here? (17-7) or 17-17 still in shots. Hasn't been a shot in a little bit in this Florida Detroit game. Florida does send one down that Duclair was able to catch up to, but not get a very good shot on net. (16-15) now. The Stars lead by 1 in shots in this game. As this is a very defensive game and goaltending oriented game by the Hawks and Stars. Looks like there is a penalty though right now as they stop play and the ref pointed to somebody. Pavelski almost scored from behind the net. That dude's amazing. I mean, he just continues to be a scoring machine. He's great at deflecting the puck. One of the best hand-eye coordination. A little bull. That's what he is. He's a small bull. And he's just great at being that bulldog personality, being able to always get it done. That dude just probably do that complaint until he's in his mid-40s, honestly, if he really does feel like it. But I mean, there's 2 very good games on now. There's a bunch of others. Well, not a bunch. There's 2 others as well. So, I mean, there's a good bit of hockey going on before the Super Bowl, and that's some great things to see. And now, give an update on the other scores that we're not watching. Kings are 3-3 right now. They're able to tie the Golden Knights on a goal by Anderson Dolan. Good for him. Good for Jared Anderson Dolan coming in and being able to pot a goal there. Nice. Of course, unfortunately, what would be one of the best games today, Colorado-St. Louis, as St. Louis would be trying to avenge being able to come back from stinking up the joint pretty much against the Arizona Coyotes. I almost said Phoenix again there. So, I mean, that's that. And then Arizona would have been playing Minnesota if they didn't have the COVID regulations. Right now, the shots are 18-16 in Dallas and Chicago. Looks like there's actually an all right amount of fans in Dallas. As Ottinger makes a save off of his blocker there on his, looks like, 16th shot of the game there. Oh, Alexiak lost it at center ice, but was able to spin it into the corner. And then somehow one of the Stars, couldn't tell who that was, fell down in the offensive zone. Yarmark passes it back to Suter. Suter, the very talented rook, moves up and then just flips it in on Ottinger. Nice save by Subban earlier, too, on Gurianov, who's a very good goal scorer coming in on that break, too. That was when I was paying in the Florida game, but very nice save by Malcolm Subban there. Big on him, having another day. Right now, the shots in Florida and Detroit is 19-17, 1-0 Detroit still with about 7 minutes left in the second period. Does anybody have any more questions on overall hockey news, potential trades, trade rumors? Any questions about that too? That would be cool to talk about and fun to talk about. Otherwise, I'll get into who I think are some of the best goalies to start, and we can talk about that. There we go. I just didn't want to update. And we have, there we go. If we look at goaltenders, and then we'll obviously do defensemen too, especially for hockey news reports. But if we look at goalies, I would say it's a shame Peter Mrazek got injured this year. Honestly, he was looking amazing. And it's very much a shame that he got banged up this year. It looked like he was going to have a really good year, and it's a shame that Blackwood went out for protocol because he looked like he was getting off to a great start. Fleury just continues to flourish. He's doing great. He might end up going to Seattle and being their guy again, being the double expansion guy. He's healthy, is looking very good. He has a 934 goals against, 7 wins to only 2 losses this year, 9 games and a 934 save percentage, a 167, 934 goals against would be terrible, 167 goals against. And he has a very good numbers in his entire career, honestly. His big issue with Gruby has always been health. It hasn't been anything beyond the fact that he just hasn't always consistently been healthy. Other than that, he's a career in 183 games. I'll take this any day as a goaltender on my team. 240 goals against and over a 920 and 921 save. Good goaltender when he's healthy. Same goes for this cat, Jake Allen. Good goaltender when he's healthy. 913 career save in 294 games, so a much bigger sample size. And 152 wins in his career. I didn't even realize he had that many. Good for him. Over 150 wins, 152 in his career, and a 249 goals against. He's been very good too. He's probably the best backup or in that conversation. I know Pirlo and I talk about that in our live. I'll probably be live again with him tomorrow, 3 to 5. We consistently do that. It's very fun to do on his channel. But I appreciate everyone joining us. So let me know if you have any more questions. I'm not sure how. Oh, the Brinket just scored in front on a very nice assist by Dylan Strome in the Chicago game on the power play to finally get a goal. Adi had no chance on that one as Dowling took that penalty to put the Dallas Stars in the hole. And then the Brinket had a very nice setup from Dylan Strome as it went from Kane to Strome to the Brinket for the goal. Nice tic-tac-toe pass in there. That was a nice play by Strome. He did a little bit of a stick and head fake, and he drew the defender away a tad bit to be able to get that pass over to the Brinket for the 5th goal by Alex DeBrincat of the season. So great to see him just getting off to a great start as one of the great young, small, scrappy stars himself in the league. Maybe the new little bulldog like Pavelski. But does anybody have any other questions that we would want to answer on potential trades? I think Johnny Gaudreau is going to be traded. It seems like the favorites are Philadelphia, New York team, since that's still kind of near where he's from. Trying to think of maybe Jersey, but I feel like not. And then I'm still thinking New York, mainly New York teams. I hope he doesn't go to Pittsburgh. I feel like he won't want to. Because of the fact that they're not in the best spot right now. They're trying to retool and figure it out. If they get Hexy, I said we because I'm so used to talking about Hextall involving the Flyers. It's going to be good for Pittsburgh and their fans, but that's not going to be good for people that are veterans. Most of those guys are definitely going to be traded over Pittsburgh. If they wish to stay there, probably going to try to convince some guys to waive their no trades too and go to some places that are more in a contending spot and send them to a good spot. It's not like they're going to send them to the Ottawa Senators or something like that because they're not going to waive their no trade for that. But they're sending them somewhere to be able to succeed. Well, does anybody have any other questions? Also, my Cash App for anybody that wants to ever donate is Philly Sports Guy 28, and I really appreciate that when people do. 23-17 of the shots in Detroit, Florida are now with about 4:50 left in the second. About 5:45 left in the second in Chicago. Shots 20-18 by the Chicago Blackhawks. Once these two games go into intermission, I'm probably going to hop off here for a while, and then I'll be back on for a live again closer to the Super Bowl time and towards the back end of the hockey games, maybe to recap the games of the day. Once they all end before the Super Bowl, I'll recap today's action in a live because they seem to do better that way rather than a regular video, and do it that way. And then share out the live and so on and so forth, all that chutzpah. Dallas has a great shooting opportunity, but for some reason, Fosca just wouldn't shoot the puck and wanted to pass the entire time. And now he gets it back in his own zone, as it looked like Chicago might have had an opposing rush there for a flat second. Oh, Fosca gets it again and has another shooting opportunity and launches it over into glass. Ghost, I think Ghost is fine. He's going to have some games, obviously, but I think he's going to be fine. I think playing with Provy, we saw that he's never going to go back to what it was in 17, but we saw the chemistry with him. I think Loppy brought that up, and obviously AV ran with it, and I think playing with Provy is going to benefit Ghost. I think Ghost is going to be good. I think he's actually going to continue to bounce back with us. And I mean, Ghost, if he has his legs under him, he actually has made plays at the blue line. He's gotten back on rushes, even on plays he screwed up on. Where Gustafsson just hasn't shown any savviness in the defensive zone at all. He's done some nice things on offense. I'll give him that, I guess. But he hasn't shown the savviness on D. Gustafsson is pretty much like Furkan Korkmaz. Like, if he gets something going or score points or do something, but he just can't play defense, so it's really frustrating for people that know the Sixers as well. Detroit's coming down into the zone here as a pass to Larkin that got intercepted, and Florida cleared it down past Huberdeau, as it looked like Nemeth has that now. The game, Dallas and Chicago's in an intermission right now. The shots are 23 to, not an intermission, a commercial, as about to go into the intermission. But we'll get back to talking about goalies real quick here. Calvin Peterson is doing amazing. He's the future starter of LA. He's going to take the reins there, and good for him. Being a former 5th-round pick from Buffalo, that they have to give up much for. From Waterloo, Iowa, I think it, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a guy, I'm sure there's not a lot of NHL players from there, so he'll be one of the greatest first. 935 save percentage this year, 219 goals against. And his goals against would be flat out bonkers if the Kings defense played more consistent every night, and also Sean Walker and Matt Roy were not out. I mean, Sean Walker's a guy that they developed into a nice, solid 6, maybe even a 5. And Matt Roy is a guy that they developed into a guy, when you look at analytically, is ranked top 7 in the league. I mean, he's doing really, really well. Detroit is able to score on a turnover by Keith Yandel, as it looks like they got it in front to Giovanni Smith. As Giovanni Smith is able to pot a very nice goal. Good for him. Good for the youngster being able to get a goal there and notch one right in front of the net, crashing the net. Very nice play by him to get 1 goal. He has 2 assists, 3 points in the last 5 games. Doing great. One of the hottest players in the league in the past couple games. Good for him. Making it 2-0 for Detroit, as it's coming into the final 2-minute warning of the second period in the Detroit-Florida game. You got Chicago and Dallas, 1-0 still Chicago, on a very nice play or goal by DeBrincat in front on tic-tac-toe passing. You have 20-19 on shots on goal. That game still favoring Chicago, and 23-18 actually favoring Florida and Detroit, but Detroit has a 2-goal with 18 shots on the cage. Ooh, Ottinger almost makes a mistake play and turns it away to Sutter in front. That would have led to a goal. Let's see here if there's an update on any of the other games. Blue Jackets are up 3-2. Line A McGinn scored, as we talked about. Riley Nash was able to pop one. Let's see that one. Oh, he just fired that one, and they got a deflection in front. That was a nice play there. Nice hand-eye coordination by Riley Nash. And Warren Fogle scored a goal as well, where it looked like he crashes the net on front and scores as the puck is stolen when Brousseau throws it around. That was not a smart play there. Or not Brousseau. Corpusalo throws it around. And that was just not a smart play there by Corpy, as Warren Fogle crashed the net and was able to capitalize on the mistake by the goaltender. And then in this game, it's still 3-3 because of Jared Anderson-Dolan's goal coming into about the 3-minute warning in the Kings game. So Anderson-Dolan on this goal is moving up the ice. Kempe made a nice deke around somebody as they got it back into him, and it was centered in front to Anderson-Dolan, who sniped that one over Marc-Andre Fleury. That was a really, really nice – or Andrew Wagner, I'm sorry, made a nice deke there, actually. And then Moore assisted it as Anderson-Dolan was able to get that nice assist there. You have Malcolm Subban making a save here in the final 2 minutes of the Chicago and Dallas game. Well, not game, going into the second intermission. Dreiser, it looked like that one went in for Bobby Ryan in front of the net, but it didn't. The ref relayed it off immediately. But now they have a 2-on-1 as Robbie Fabry, with great patience and stick handling, to get an open shot in front of the net. But great job staying with it by Jake Oninger. Great wherewithal by the young netminder. Or not Jake Oninger, by Chris Dreiser, the young netminder. That was a very nice play by Dreger to stay with it. That was a very nice play by the post, too, to save that one shot. That's one of those plays the goalie has to thank the post afterward, especially if they come back and win 3-2 in this game, Florida. Now it's 20-24 shots in the Florida-Detroit game as Detroit's leading 2-0. 45 seconds left in the second, as Florida was trying to get it back, but Detroit is staying persistent in this game and still has the puck in their own zone, or excuse me, in the offensive zone, the attacking zone. Ooh. One of Florida's players goes down in a heap after blocking a shot. Was that Akari, it looks like there? Yep, Akari goes down in a heap after blocking a shot. Hopefully he's okay and able to return to this game. Guys, now there's a fight going as a result. I'm not sure how that happened because all it was a blocked shot that led to an injury, but there's fights going on the corner boards with about 27.7 seconds left in the second period. Looked like Nemestikov got involved in that one with Frank Vetrano, who's obviously been known to get scrappy in his career, as Akari is now up and skating gingerly to the bench. As in the Stars game, a puck banks off of Klingberg to Ben, who gets it back to Klingberg, up the boards, and I think Nope, not tipped past the line, so that is still called icing. I thought that was tipped past the line to avoid it from my eyesight here, but they say it was not, so that is an icing call. as the Blackhawks would get another face-off in their own zone, as Malcolm Subban has to thank the post and luck, because that one bounced off the post, hit his back pad, and did not go in on an earlier sequence. And then right now, as I do another score update, we got still, as this is refreshing, 3-3 in Canes Jackets, according to NHL.com. Brett Pesce was able to even it up. Not the guy that always scores the goals, but definitely plays great defense and defends the goals. Then you got still a 3-3 game going into the end of the second period due to the Anderson Dolan snipe being able to crash the net on a nice play by Wagner and Trevor Moore. So that was very nice to see. 22-21 shots favoring Dallas, with Chicago leading 1-0. The shots are still favoring Florida by 4 as the second period is wrapping up now. And at the end of the second, it is 2-0 Detroit, and we'll start with 1:33 left on 4-on-4 action as that game comes into the third period after the period break. The end of the second is 1-0 Chicago as they enter into the third period of 1-0 on the great back of a great tic-tac-toe passing to lead to a DeBrincat goal, and a great game yet again by Malcolm Subban. Malcolm Subban is having a great couple of games, trying to figure out where here it is. The remote is to change the station for this one to see if there's a game that's active so I can follow it and talk about it. Still, I think right now most of them are timed the same today, unfortunately, so they're all kind of going to break at the same time. But that just had to be the case because of the Super Bowl being on. This one has about a minute and a half, it looks like, 2:12 left, 3-3 in the Columbus game. The shots are 16-12 Carolina as they get a shot. But the rebound as the guy on the ground in Atkinson's able to hit the puck away from the center ice. As now it's behind the net. Svechnikov got it in front, but Brock McGinn could not handle it. Dougie Hamilton now has the puck. Brock McGinn passes it behind his back to Slavin, who can't get the shot through. A nice block there by Columbus. Obviously one of the best shot blocking teams in all of hockey. If anybody who comes back in has more questions, let me know, and we can also answer those. Let's see. Dougie Hamilton, great shot on net there. That's saved by Korpisalo. The Canes swing it around as Columbus is trying to regain possession, cannot behind their own net. There's a shot on goal there. Rebounded, they score. Wow, that one was not able to be handled by Korpisalo. It was Vincent Trocheck scored in front of the net. Trocheck got in front of the net. Korpisalo was not able to handle that rebound, and he was just able to backhand in a nice, easy rebound for himself there. Nice goal by Vincent Trocheck, being aware after Corpy hit it behind in front of his net to the side. Trocheck got it back, and then ended up going in front of the net as they let it around the boards on a nice play made by him to get it back to the center, and then shoot it off the rebound as he got it back to Pesce. So Pesce now has a goal and an assist in this game, having a good day himself when it comes to points-wise, and he's usually the great defender for the Carolina Hurricane. Looks like they might be challenging this for potentially offsides or something. They're looking at it. Torch is looking at this for something. Potential offsides. Trocheck might not have still been hovering over the line when Dougie Hamilton came into the zone. So it looks like John Tortorella is challenging this play. It's hard to see with that side camera. It looks like he's over, but it's hard to see because of that cam. This camera should probably tell more. No, that one you can't even see him. That one's actually too zoomed in. So, yeah, it's not a camera that seems like on TV they're showing where you can actually tell exactly where Vincent Trocheck is as Dougie Hamilton was coming on the puck. But regardless, they take that back. He still made a very great play. Got it on the end around. He was able to get the goal or get it in front of the net. And to Pesce, he was able to shoot get the rebound, and then he was able to score as the goal stands. So Vincent Trocheck does score on a very nice play made to give the Carolina Hurricanes a 4-3 lead with 1:15 left in the second period. After this game goes into the second period, though, I am going to cut it out for a bit because it seems like this is around the time everyone gets busy in the day and eats dinner and everything, especially on Super Bowl Sunday, so we lose people. So I think it's good to go away, come back before the game, before dinner, and talk about recapping the hockey of the day, and then, excuse me, a quick introduction for the football. Carolina Hurricanes are now on a power play because Torch lost the challenge, of course, one of the new rules the last couple of years in hockey. Now ending the second period, see if they can get another Carolina goal here to be. Oh, they almost got one across the Trocheck with the hot hand. Now it's back at the point to Hamilton, as that pass could not get through from the boards over to Aho. I don't know what Reimer was thinking of doing. Look, he was thinking of clearing it all the way up the ice there. Ends up settling for the right play and hits it behind his net. Trocheck now up the boards as he makes an off pass to Svechnikov, so the puck gets cleared down in on James Reimer. Dougie Hamilton now has it going up as he passes it back there to Vincent Trocheck, who passes it across to, it looks like Sebastian Aho. Savard now clears it down as he's able to get to the puck as James Reimer comes in and grabs it and is able to get it away from the attacking player on Columbus. Looks like, Boone Jenner who was attacking there. As the second period ends there with the Carolina Hurricanes now leading 4-3 after a great play and then a rebound goal made by Vincent Trocheck. So as all the games are in intermission now, thanks for joining the live, about the 50-minute live, everybody that joined. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great, safe, and pleasant day. Peace out, everybody.